Everything looking good tech-wise. Excellent. All right, let's hop straight in. Metals, do the honors.
We're spawning down in the bottom right position. We have got the red Protoss player from LGIM. It's Squirtle. And his opponent up in the top left, the blue Protoss player from Alliance. It's NaNiwa. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't see any other way, as this group stands at the moment, that if NaNiwa loses this, or if Squirtle loses it, they must definitely be out, because they just won't have the wins required, and that's something which it's going to be pressing on the mind. I don't think these two players will even know currently that that's the way things stand, because they won't have had a chance to check the brackets between these games. And yeah, I'm definitely right here that Suppy has won 2 games and lost 1. The winner of this game will have won 2 games and lost 2, which means they'll be in the bottom half. So the winner of this game advances through into Group Stage 3. The loser is out of DreamHack Summer 2013.
That's pretty big, man. And a lot riding on this game right now. Incredibly tense. NaNiwa, Squirtle, one of these players is definitely going to go through if they are able to win this game. What an incredible PvP that we have seen. Unbelievable stuff. And this is not even Group Stage 3 yet, guys. This is only Group Stage 2.
And that's,
unbelievable.
That's just the credit, to be honest. The fact that this is still only Group Stage 2 of the second day is ridiculous. This could, as you rightly said in Game 1, have easily been the sort of match someone would expect really early in the, or really late in the tournament. It's sort of quarter-final, semi-final game. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
And a lot of people are tuning in to watch this match right now. This is extremely important. Massive shout out as well to Northern Ireland Starcraft, who are hanging around this afternoon to check this specific PvP. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves wherever you happen to be. Builds entirely identical so far, of course, at the moment from these players. We'll wait and see where there are any sort of deviations. Slightly faster gas from Squirtle, but nothing to write home on a postcard about just yet. We have got the second gateway coming down for him now.
Now, second gateway on its way. That's going to allow him to put on a little bit more pressure. NaNiwa, he's got the 2 gases up though. He probably just going to get to that mothership core. He's getting that sentry down. A very similar build to what we've seen in the previous games from him. And what's he going to do? It's force cross-spawn positions. It's something which we've got to sit here and we've got to really keep an eye out for what he's going to try and do. Because if he tries to play too passive, Squirtle is going to get a really good macroed up position. We saw that last game where Squirtle just put on the pain for a long period.
For sure.
But if NaNiwa's too aggressive, Squirtle has shown time and time again that he's able to hold off against that. So in a lot of ways, I think NaNiwa's best bet is to go for a really, really early push and not let Squirtle get into the late game stages.
Oh, it's really difficult to call options like that when you're in this. I guess the only person who would really know that for sure right now is NaNiwa. He's sending a probe now out to scout. He's going to be able to spot that Squirtle is not, in fact, in the top right position, and his mothership core is actually going, he's just going to be chilling out in the corner of his base at the moment. It looks like NaNiwa wants to take a bit more of a defensive posture with this mothership core, which is completely fine. And look at this, maybe an early push is on the cards here, Maddles, because we have the Twilight Council coming down for NaNiwa.
This is very similar to his Game 1 build, so far anyway. The only difference being that he's got his natural down slightly sooner. Oh, the mothership core spotted there. Gonna try and stop this. At the same time though, we do have one Stalker just attacking this natural. This is good information for Squirtle because NaNiwa is yet to scout out his opponent, doesn't know what Squirtle is going for. And that's always problematic because you want to be preparing for the 2 sentries sitting at the ramp, diligently ready to force field should anything unexpected come up. But Squirtle, he's going for his Twilight Council too. Very similar builds from these 2 players.
Yeah, not too much to, really not too much difference between these guys at the moment. Both of them going to be grabbing their Nexi at their natural expansions. We've got the sentries at the top of the round from NaNiwa trying to deny any sort of scouting, and the mothership core was successfully repelled. So, going up to 3 gateways now. That Twilight Council is feverishly researching Blink with the help of that Chrono Boost. And it remains to be seen what Squirtle's going to be doing with his.
Now, Dark Shrine coming down from NaNiwa. He had some success with the Dark Shrine in Game 1. But, oh no, sorry. No, it is from NaNiwa.
It is from NaNiwa.
It is from NaNiwa.
Has he cancelled Blink? Yes, he has. So he cancelled Blink and went Dark Shrine as that probe scouted out the Twilight Council from Squirtle. I think that's very important to know.
He's also getting up the robotics facility behind that too, so he's just ready in case there is going to be a Dark Shrine from his opponent too. But look at this, this Hallucinated Phoenix could be the hero for the LGIM player. Will he be able to see that? The double Stargate coming down too, but if it goes only Phoenix, there won't be an Oracle. You need an Oracle for that detection. Ah! Boom. Dark Shrine there. Hi, says Squirtle, and now Squirtle will get detection.
Mind games all over the place. Blink getting cancelled, Dark Shrine getting put up as soon as that Twilight Council was scouted by NaNiwa. And the response is going to be double Stargate from Squirtle and double Stargate from Squirtle coming out to try and counter this. But now that Dark Shrine has been scouted, let's see what NaNiwa opts to go for. He is going to be getting the Forge. He's not cancelling the Dark Shrine as it currently stands. He's just going to be getting out an Observer and seeing what his options are. I mean, it's always useful to keep the Dark Shrine even if you're not using it immediately.
Archons,
very, very useful. And also, sort of later on in the game, like we saw on the game earlier on Star Station, you never know when DTs might just sneakily come in useful.
yeah, and that's the thing, they can be so powerful later on in the game too.
Wow. Seeing Phantoms here is Squirtle by the looks of things. He's going to be force fielding out long before the DTs actually get to the wall there. Interesting.
Now that's because there isn't the Observer out. The Observer is coming for Squirtle, so he just wants to be cautious.
Oops.
But yeah, DTs have now managed to make their way in. It's like, hey, I'm a DT, but Oracle there, gonna start with the detection. One DT goes down, like 2 workers killed. That was it. So 2 DTs for 2 workers. Not a good trade.
Not the best trade, but Squirtle, by the way, did cancel one of the Stargates after scouting that and went immediately into Oracle production. So these guys really twisting and turning, ebbing and flowing their builds to adapt to what they scout from the other player. And this, if I had to describe this game in one word, it would be fluid so far. We've been seeing the players chopping and changing, adapting to what they see out on the map. Very, very high level of energy here. Exactly what we want to see from a map of this magnitude.
And if we do get into later stages, we saw in the last game as well, that these two are very capable of going into 40+ minute long games of PvP, which is something not often seen. Photon Overcharge being used here to pick off that Oracle, but it's going to be able to escape. Got a couple of kills, I believe it was just the one.
Just the one.
But still, 1 kill is better than no kills.
1 kill is better than no kills. He's out of energy at the moment, so it will take a little bit of time before that Oracle can continue to harass. So let's take a little bit of stock of where we're at now, guys. As far as the worker count is concerned, it's 53 to 52 in favor of NaNiwa. No massive difference there. Squirtle, though, does have a marginally larger army supply. He's got the Oracle, and he does have an extra sentry. NaNiwa, though, with a slight advantage in the number of stalkers, but again, nothing to really go on a shouting spree about. Ooh, supply block there after that forward pylon goes down.
That's actually, it might seem really minor, but there's a good couple of seconds until NaNiwa will get it comfortably back into supply, but he's not going in for big warp-ins at the moment. He's investing a lot into tech, so there's additional pylons finishing up, and now he's in a good spot. He's also getting his third is up and running for NaNiwa. It's already down. The Squirtle is behind there, but that also means that NaNiwa took a bit of a risk. He's getting into the later stages. He's got some High Templar warping in, but Squirtle, he's starting up those Colossi sooner and now getting his second robotics facility. Remember, in the first game, Squirtle got a really large Colossi lead early on, but NaNiwa managed to catch up.
He did indeed. I mean, there were quite a few very, very tense engagements in game number 1. There were periods where Squirtle had something like 9 Colossi against 5, and everyone was watching, really dreading that NaNiwa wasn't going to be able to take that on, but he just was able to stave it off, constantly cutting it back, waiting until he got the perfect chance to see if he can't level the playing field, and those Archons really did it for him, allowed him to get on even footing later on in the game.
Now NaNiwa is making his way across the map. He is getting ready to put on a little bit of pressure with Squirtle with the Observer. We'll see this, and this little splinter group of the army getting out of position. Nice use of Time Warp there, if he can get that Archon, but it just manages to get away. If that Archon had gone down, that would have actually been a very nice Time Warp, but look at this, Oracle getting ready to go back in to the natural base, and NaNiwa has nothing back here to defend.
No, a couple more probes going down. There are not too many. Great reaction times from NaNiwa, actually, meaning only a single probe goes down so far. A second one as well, and the Oracle is going to be able to get out, but we have got a massive engagement going on at the third base location. Time Warp going down on the random Mothership Core, getting picked off by NaNiwa, so he has a full energy Mothership Core, and Squirtle does not have one at the moment. Very useful for potential Time Warp, plus that recall home if necessary. We can actually see it's sort of just going to be scouting to see if the army comes back from this location here. That's a good engagement for NaNiwa.
NaNiwa really going to be happy with that. As long as he doesn't really get any counterattack, he's really putting the pressure on Squirtle at the moment. Squirtle 8 supply ahead for the time being. NaNiwa also starting to get out a couple more Immortals, just ready to deal with those Colossi, having seen them there. He's getting charged down, so though is Squirtle. These third bases are really critical. If NaNiwa can really put some pressure on that, it could be a problem. But look at this, he's pulling all of Squirtle's army down while sending a splinter group of units up towards the natural. If he runs in there while Squirtle is out of position, he could have a lot of fun. But Squirtle, he's now repositioning. He's got to sit in the middle. He can't risk overcommitting to either base.
Yeah, Squirtle also doesn't quite have the additional production that he's looking for as well. He only has 4 warp gates to the 7 of NaNiwa at the moment. And here comes the Splinter Group, picking off a Colossus, and then he might even blink further into the base. Yes, he is. So he's going to make the army chase him, while the rest of his army possibly looking to go into the third base as well. But Squirtle smells a rat. He is going to be moving to try and intercept the main army, which means that these Stalkers inside the main might be able to do an awful lot of damage. He needs to target down, though, this Photon Cannon, slowly getting those picked off as well. And in the meantime, NaNiwa is actually retreating with the rest of his army there. He can't quite deal with the might of these Colossi right now, and it looks like the Zealots are going to be able to clean up. So great idea from NaNiwa though, but the number of workers killed, yeah, okay, it's gone up to 10, but he has lost a couple of units as well. So if we take stock, he's actually about 20 supply behind Squirtle right now.
But look at the upgrade show us up. That is something that is getting really interesting. 2-1 on either side. So 2-0 against 1-0. That is an advantage that NaNiwa is really going to want to be able to capitalize on. He's also got +3 already started, but Squirtle will level it out 2-0 both sides shortly. So NaNiwa doesn't want to engage until he gets that upgrade advantage again. But look at this, NaNiwa getting the fleet beacon. We were talking about this last game. The Tempests
Here we go.
are such a great counter to Colossi.
Looking forward to this. In the meantime, he is going to be going for those double avoid rays as well. So he's decided, you know what? I don't actually want to compete with your number of Colossi. I acknowledge that you are ahead as far as that is concerned. Fine. What I am going to do is try and grab something else that absolutely annihilates it. And hey, if you can get away with doing that, why the heck not? That's a great idea. So we'll see if he can pull it off there. Squirtle, he might be going for a timing before potential Tempest can get out on the field though, and that's got to be NaNiwa's worry right now.
NaNiwa's got to hold off. He's got to delay his opponent, and by pushing into the 4th base, that is certainly a good way to do it. These Blinkstalkers going straight in. Squirtle is out of position, and he is moving right towards the natural. He's just going to head potentially straight up into the main. These Tempests are coming out, and this is what NaNiwa needed to buy himself some time. Focusing down, the Templar Archives will get it, blinking the Stalkers up, and it's now just going on a nice little trip around the main of Squirtle, and this is buying him all this time to get the Tempest out.
He needs as much time as he can get. Great blink inside as well, minimizing the surface area from these Zealots. Yes, these Stalkers have their days numbered just a little bit there. He's going to be able to pick off the Photon Cannon in the middle line as well. And once he does that, he might even be able to pick off more and more probes. The Zealots will eventually catch up with them, if not micro it correctly. Oh, and it looks like the third base is also under attack simultaneously. Is the Nexus going to go down? Zealots being sent in, and it just goes down literally a second, ladies and gentlemen, before the Zealots manage to get taken out. So all of a sudden, a completely maxed out supply Squirtle is getting very angry at NaNiwa for killing off that Nexus. Still, oh, a Stalker inside the main base. Squirtle not having the nicest time here. Has NaNiwa bought enough time for these Tempests so that the counterattack will get thwarted?
Well, the counterattack has to come. Squirtle is pretty much, well, not completely all in, because he does have that 4th coming down, but he's got to go and kill NaNiwa, because NaNiwa is getting those Tempests out. He done a huge amount of economic damage, and now with those Tempests on their way, they could really help, but it is going to come down to the next engagement. It's going to be NaNiwa's positioning as well. He needs to make sure those Tempests stay alive. He's got 4 down at the moment.
Does he have an observer out here? That would actually help so much right now if he had that map vision. He doesn't, but that could be very useful. And I think Squirtle has spotted with these Zealots that a couple of Tempests are attacking him, and that's him thinking, well, hang on a second, I need to be very, very careful. A Dark Templar might actually end up picking up this Nexus. Do we have... We need an observer or an Oracle. I don't think one's here. No. He's completely surrounded the Nexus and he's trying to kill off his own. Oh, that was so smart.
Yep.
Very, very well. Oh, wait, hang on. No, I thought he killed off his own unit there, but the observer got there just in time. This Nexus at 150 hit points. Very, very close. And no, yes, Squirtle has the 4th base up, guys, but it's not currently mining, and he is going for this push.
And we've also got a little probe coming down here. NaNiwa going to put another proxy pylon, and we said about this early game that DTs aren't just useful at the rush. You can get much more use out of them later stages in the game as well. And this is where things get pretty scary for Squirtle, because NaNiwa maxed out. He's got a good number of Tempests on the field. He's got a scary looking army. He's got 5 Tempests up against 5 Colossi. it's a strong force, and Squirtle economically is just not going to be able to keep up with NaNiwa for the moment. He's behind in probes by, well, 13.
Oh, and that just got scouted. So, and 2 cannons are about to come down as well. So now that this forward pylon has been destroyed, any Dark Templars will have to go past these cannons before they actually get to the next. That's really useful. There is an observer out here, though, and spots the army composition out of NaNiwa. That's so crucial right now. +1 air weapons done for NaNiwa, and +2 air weapons and shields level 1 also about to get done too. In the meantime, on Squirtle's side of the field, we happen to have 2-0 upgrades right now. Is it going to be enough, though? I'm not sure. He's still moving out very aggressively across the center of the map. He wants to keep NaNiwa contained and possibly win this game right here, but the Tempests are looking so dangerous here.
Now this is a smart move by Squirtle. He's sending units into the 3rd and 4th base location, trying to stop NaNiwa moving out. And that's what you've got to do. NaNiwa's got a Death Ball army. Tempests are very slow. And so if you try and make them be over at once, you can cause some problems for NaNiwa. But NaNiwa is going to respond to this by just putting loads of photon cannons down. Also, Squirtle, he's only just getting his fleet beacon. He's getting those 2 Stargates. He wants Tempest too, but he is so ridiculously far behind in getting those out.
Rambo Zealot over here.
Yeah, he's trying his best.
Oh, this game is so unbelievably tense, guys. Look at this. These armies are dancing around each other in the middle of the map. Squirtle now thinking about going against the 3rd base location here. He's going to try and poke and prod, and this might give NaNiwa an opportunity to let loose with a couple of those Tempests. Note there's no observer here. There needs to be very good. Look at how quickly those Archons are getting their shields depleted here, and another attack going on at the 4th base. Is Squirtle going to be able to focus down this Nexus? A lot of DPS coming in from NaNiwa, and it looks like NaNiwa will be able to hold this Nexus, will stay up. So both players now are going to be on, well, 4 bases for now, but a 5th base being taken from Squirtle.
Now the important thing, Squirtle did just get +3 ground weapons, but NaNiwa, he's already got +2 air weapons and +2 shields coming down. That's going to be so essential in these engagements that could make or break it. And remember, whoever wins this game advances through. Yeah,
this is so much is at stake here. And look at this Squirtle. Well, hey, you know what counts as Tempests? A Tempest. Let's give that a good go. NaNiwa going to be catching up a few units. These are High Templars out in the middle of the map here. Very juicy targets right now. And yes, a couple of storms go down, but no long-term damage is done to this army. And oh, this is so unbelievably tense. Can the Tempest now from Squirtle hold off NaNiwa a moment longer? 190 supply versus 199. Will NaNiwa spot and potentially take out any additional bases?
He's got to be so careful. NaNiwa doesn't have a read on exactly how many Tempest Squirtle has out. That's why when he saw those first few shots that he pulled back. But having said that, NaNiwa, he's not as far ahead as he was, in my opinion. He turtled for such a long time, but he does have those upgrade advantages. Getting +2 air weapons, +2 shields is going to help in the engagements.
Oh, and these Zealots are not going to have a good time. NaNiwa freeing up a little bit of supply here. Holy crap! How quickly did they melt, like a hot knife through butter, so to speak. And it looks like this Nexus is going to get picked off at the 4th base location. Are we going to see a recall from NaNiwa? Well, certainly no recall to this Nexus because it is bloody dead. But NaNiwa, his army is now looking like it's being backed into a corner at the south side of the map, and boom, see that? It's not there anymore. That's because a mass recall was indeed used, not to there, of course, to over here. And oh, another attack coming in as well. NaNiwa is doing a great job here. He might be able to get this Nexus so close. 150 supply 150 hit points, and it survives with 8 shields, ladies and gentlemen. So NaNiwa trying to pick off 2 Nexi at the same time. Can you imagine if he had done that? That would have genuinely forced Squirtle into an absolutely huge all-out engagement. Right now, though, I'm not sure he's 100% committing to make or break with this push.
There's a problem, though.
What's that?
NaNiwa is unaware of the base on the right. So Squirtle is still on 4 bases. He's on equal bases as NaNiwa. And that means that NaNiwa, he's turtling up because he thinks he's got a base advantage, and if he holds this, he's won. But he doesn't know that there's that additional base there. But Squirtle, nonetheless, is going to start trying to move forward. NaNiwa is down by 7 supply, which may be tiny. 9 Tempest on 9 Tempest. Upgrades, how are they looking? I believe it's 3-0. 3-0 versus 3 with +2 shields and +3 air weapons. That's a big air weapons advantage for
NaNiwa has a fantastic advantage when it comes to that air. Will he be able to use it though? And Tempest on Tempest action, very odd here, but also they kill each other very quickly indeed. We're having a little bit of lag in the game as well. Oh no, this is a very crucial moment. The players have to keep their calm. I believe that's our Russian commentator here. He's not going to be very happy. with with lacking out at potentially this moment of the game. A little bit of a shame, but the players are able to continue. That person has left, and like you say, the 5th base is now down and mining for Squirtle. So can NaNiwa win this engagement?
He has got to be so careful. If he oversteps, overcommits, gets in a bad position, it'll be such problems for him. But both of their supplies within one of each other. This right-hand base, just as the left-hand base in Belshir was the saving grace for Squirtle, this one is what's keeping it in there. NaNiwa thinks he's so far ahead economically. Yes, he's got a bit more bank. Yes, he's got the better upgrades. But the longer this game goes on, the closer it gets.
NaNiwa needs another base. This is the only base with a decent amount of minerals still left. And we actually have 3 bases with a decent amount of minerals still left for Squirtle. He is remaking this base now as well, so going back up to that 5. And if this base goes up without a reply from NaNiwa, Squirtle might be able to get a long-term advantage here. It's so difficult to say because things can swing so quickly in a mirror matchup. Right now, NaNiwa's just waiting it out, but he needs to wait it out and get a base. And oh, I'm so happy to see that he's planning to do that here. Once he takes out this pylon, he will be able to put down this nexus here as well. But oh, we have a single zealot. Yeah, that's going to take a little while, I'm afraid. And the entire army coming to try and deal with this single stalker, and unable to do so because he manages to blink away. That is the most scared stalker in the universe right now.
Now, just take a look at the worker count for me for a second, Joris-san.
Righty ho.
Okay. NaNiwa has 20 more workers. That's 20 less supply. He's got an all big engagement in the centre. Look at the Tempest. They're going to try and allow the retreat for NaNiwa. Good shots going off. This is so tense.
Oh, this is ridiculous. And very, very nice, by the way. Hallucinated Colossus gets picked off there. Squirtle hallucinating massive units so that these Tempests might be drawn towards attacking it right now. And it looks like, yes, this one little lone stalker is going to prevent NaNiwa from expanding up here. But the Zealot knows about this additional base. Is NaNiwa going to try and push forward and deny this? The upgrades are still looking fantastic for NaNiwa. Look at that. +3 Protoss shields and +3 air weapons are out for him as well. Really, really good stuff. But he needs to find a way to break this stalemate as far as the units sort of hang around.
NaNiwa needs to find the right base.
Yes.
If he finds that base, or ideally if he found it about 10 minutes ago, he would have won.
This is like deal or no deal.
It is.
He needs to find the right box. Can he do it? And oh, these immortals are going, nope, 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 nope. Don't want to mess with that. They are very good at absorbing these hits from these high damage dealing units, but aside from that, they're not able to get too much damage done right now. And NaNiwa, oh, he needs to spot this base right here, and it's just so difficult right now. Look at this. This pro once again going to expand, and we're going to have Hero Squirtle Stalker here say absolutely no.
So look at Squirtle, okay? He has got vision of all the possible expansion locations that NaNiwa could go to. NaNiwa, for the last 15 minutes, hasn't had vision of the expansion location that Squirtle went to. But he is going to start moving in. He's in a relatively nice position here. The Tempest control is going to be essential. Here we go. The Tempests are starting to fall, and that is what really matters. +3.
He's going for it. Squirtle's going for it. All the entire army. This is going to come down to a lot. Tempest versus Tempest. So many massive units out on the field right now. The number of Tempests out are ridiculous. And it looks like NaNiwa is going to be pushed back. His supply is plummeting faster than Squirtle's. He's at 167 to 179, but he's remaxing so quickly. Both sides have got a baggage. 156 to 179 now. And NaNiwa, he can't mass recall home right now. He has to turn and face. But now this time, it's Squirtle that moves back. And his Mothership Core gets sniped off. But in the same time, a Nexus gets sniped off by these Immortals and Zealots that were popping in from Squirtle. NaNiwa looking like he might be losing his grip on this game.
He has got to move in now. He's lost that 4th base. He knows he doesn't have the economy. He's going to try and go for it. But things are looking really close. NaNiwa down to under 100 supply. I don't think he's going to be able to make this. But remember, a lot of the supply is tied up at the other side of the map for Squirtle. And the Tempest count is just so high for NaNiwa.
6 Tempests versus 0 now. And if he takes out these Archons, these Tempests might be able to rule the roost at least for a little while. Can he take apart, though, the Colossi before these Stalkers jump in and pick them apart? It doesn't look like it. They're engaging Stalkers. Not the best thing here. And now Squirtle is moving forward. GG. He is down to 44 supply. And LGIM Squirtle advances to the 3rd group stage.